was a gun.
Not voting.
If we want to build our nation.
The problem with the Somalians.
Just want to experience something else than a black man.
Move on, move
Can't be like a horse with blinkers.
Honestly say, I was about to have sex and then I pulled
crap,
up.
but it's nice.
My name is Alim Abrams. I'm a primary school principal here in Bishop Lavis, member of the Old BLAC of 1981, that was formed in 1981, and still a proud member of the Bishop Lavis Action Community.
Marlene Bardens. I'm the event planner as well as the local fundraiser for BLAC.
I'm Victor Altenstedt, founder member and also the Secretary General of the Bishop Lavis Action Community.
I'm Beverly Fortuyn, Vice President and also Operations Manager at Bishop Lavis Action Community.
My name is Graham Seabridge, pastor of a local congregation, Adonai Gate family. I'm also an executive board member of BLAC.
My name is Wesley Moodley. I'm the Secretary of the Bishop Lavis Religious Leaders Forum, and I'm also a proud member of BLAC.
This is BLAC 1986. This is BLAC 1986. Now, we started in 1981, and in a house just next to the field, opposite this field here, in the residence of this, the Samuel's family, Byron, Keith, Serene, and Patrick Samuel. This is where it started. So this was the BLAC of 1981, and our major struggle was the struggle for electricity. The campaign against electricity, because Bishop Lavis was a ghost town. Bishop Lavis was a place where there was once a clip in the newspaper in England where Bishop Lavis was referred to as "Kill me quick." Kill me quick, because it was so dark after 6 in the night, you couldn't see in front of you. And every morning, they picked up a body. And in the 80s, we decided this is a still ongoing process, and we need to stop it. And so a few decided, a few youngsters, one of them, Professor Norman Duncan, Lavinia September, Father Byron Samuel, and a few others decided we need to try and do something. And this is where BLAC started.
The Bishop Lavis Action Community was started last year at the beginning of August, but it was the result of the bloodiest period within the history of Bishop Lavis, where we have had 17 people who were killed within a period of 3 weeks due to gang violence. Our community was paralyzed at the time. People didn't go to school, people didn't go to work. At about 6 o'clock in the evening, the community represented a ghost town. Nothing was happening. People had this intense fear of just being within their own community. We started off on social media, and we had a few Facebook posts. I can still remember that one of the first posts that I put out there was something to the extent of "Cry, my beloved Lavis." Yes. And then I managed to get a few responses from there. Afterwards, we decided to have a get-together, a meeting, and at that meeting, BLAC was born.
We're all aware. There's 28s, there's 26, there's whatever you can call them. There is gangsters everywhere. Yeah. In order for us to fight against this, it's going to be a war. What we can do is, we can make it a better place for the younger ones. Yeah. We lost children in John Ramsey, a 13-year-old boy. How many children? Still young children. They're not gangsters yet, or they're not part of that gang even. But because of this gang violence, because a child was standing on the street corner, you could have been in one of the programs, and that bullet could never hit him. Stuff like that. So we are fully aware of this gangsterism going around, but we're not going to highlight it, because that gangsters, they also have families. Yeah. That people also have people that they care about. Even if they are how vicious, they do have people that they care about. All that we can do is that we are supposed to work not with them, we are here to make a difference in their lives as well, without them even knowing. Because the moment we're going to highlight them, they're going to target us. So we cannot be targeted. We have too much work to do.
That's not the space of our engagement. We don't want to speak to gangs. We don't want to attack gangs. That's not our engagement. Our engagement is to stop the flow of our young people going into gangsterism. We literally want to show them a new way of life.
And you know, with the indigenous games and so forth, you know, I think the intention there is to, when we look at gangsters and how it forms and so forth, they literally take over a block, and because nobody contests them being there, you know, they own it. So with the indigenous games and everything, we're trying to revive, you know, the cult of that area. So if we can get netball, if we can revive netball, which we will do soon, into those areas, then those kids will be actively involved in that area. So that whole area will become alive again. You know, they will claim back what rightfully belongs to them. And once we do that, then we can drive out, because then there's no place to do your drug dealings. There's no place to do this and so forth. So obviously they have to move out of that particular space that they've been clamped down, and make it, you know, back to the community.
And even a lot of these gangsters, they were soccer players. Because in the community, they couldn't go any further. They changed because they were good soccer players. But there was no money, or the parents didn't have money so that they can go play for Ajax or for whoever, for Pirates or for whoever. There was no money. And at the end of the day, they were hanging around. And then they ended up there. There are a lot of gangsters that I know was good soccer players. Because at one stage in my life, my father had Trinitarian Soccer Club.
In fact,
and
there was
so,
a lot of clubs
too much. What happened to all these? Because there was no money for these young guys to go any further. So they turned into drugs. They turned into buying. At the end of the day, they selling. And then they went into this wrong way, in the gangster way. That is why we need to do this, to stop this. Soccer teams, netball teams, whatever that we can invent for them, anything, so that they can be active and so that they can be part of the community again.
We have different groups here, like gangsters and religious groups, sporting groups, whatever. So everybody is operating on their own. So what BLAC is doing, BLAC is keeping them busy with community work. And what is community work? Trying to improve the lives of our children, of our community. So we don't intend doing the work of the South African police. We don't intend doing the work of the South African government. They got to do their job. Basically, what is important to us, we are trying just to improve the lives of our children. That is basically what we're doing. So it's been here, gangsterism, since the inception of Bishop Lavis. It won't take a little group like us to get it away. We don't intend doing that. What we intend doing is just to improve the lives of our children. Get them in the school, trying to get them to improve the quality of their life, and that's basically it, you know.
The police stats would tell you the art and the nature of our community. Part of the notorious gangs are operating in our community. And they're operating forever. And the new culture of gangsterism, where the prison gangs and the gangs outside, there's no more barriers between the two. All that politics is playing into our community situation. It is in this context that BLAC have felt, and we have the buy-in of SAPS and all the other organizations, that we need to literally prevent the next generation of our kids to walk the same path of gangsterism. And so BLAC's initiative to literally help the next generation of kids, not to follow, if we can stop the flow to the gangs, we can minimize the impact in our communities.
Basically, so what does it tell us? That we need to get all the stakeholders involved.
We do need that.
So we cannot operate in isolation. We need to get the schools, the education part, the SAPs, social welfare. All the different departments needs to come together, and we need to have to sit down and say, listen here, this is what we need to do. You are all stakeholders, we are all in partnership, we cannot do this alone. So there's no way that the principals or the schools can say, don't get us involved. There's no way that social welfare can say, don't get us involved.
The church can say.
Even the religious forums, they need to be involved. The imams and the priests, all of them needs to be involved. Otherwise, this thing is not going to work.
Yes, of
so,
course.
That is also a way of engaging with Isa Abrams. Getting the stakeholders together and also having her there and say, listen here, man, we all, this is now the whole of his believers, with you involved, let us do this thing together. And maybe this is, then it's going to work. But the thing that we're going to make magic all on our own is not going to work. We need these people to help us, to assist us to make this thing work.
The core element for us in BLAC then and BLAC now is the spirit of activism. It is the spirit of activism that drove men and women in the 80s to speak to the issues. And that is the spirit of activism that we want to reignite in our communities by creating a platform where anyone that wants to contribute to building a successful, building a peaceful community can come and be part of. Our makeup is that many of us don't stay in Bishop Lavis anymore, but it is our love and our passion for the town in which we were born. Most of us were born in Bishop Lavis, that we want to give back in the spirit of activism and build a successful, a beautiful, peaceful, crime-free Bishop Lavis. That might sound utopia, but that is our vision, that is what is within our heart.
My dream is for us to realize that, you know, irrespective of how big or how small we are, that we realize that we can make a difference.
My dream is a place where a kid can grow up and become whatever they want to become. My dream is a safe community where community members look out for each other.
My dream is to have a drug-free community, and where a child feels there is a safe place to go to.
My dream is towards a culture of activism where we do not allow anybody or anything to trample upon our rights.
My dream is for our next generation to become whatever their heart desires is in a drug-free country.
My dream is to ensure the holistic development of our children in Bishop Lavis to ensure a quality life.
Yazi, you should ever sit and talk with people, or else take a walk and create a straight talk. Talk what is nice, it will make you feel stronger. Listen what is right and say what is wrong. You should ever sit and talk with people, or else take a walk and create a straight talk. Talk what is nice, it will make you feel stronger. Listen what is right and say what is wrong.